the tour ended and 3 ex-dancers just completely, like, blindsided me with a
So
lawsuit.
let's talk about that so I can get the exact facts right before we get into it. It's 2023. They come with a lawsuit, and it's a bunch of different claims about harassment,
Mhm,
assault.
mhm.
Were you surprised? Did you know about it beforehand that it was coming before we saw it hit the net? Or was it a complete blindside situation?
I was completely surprised.
Really?
I was very deeply hurt because, you know, these were 3 ex-dancers, so they weren't on the tour. They didn't, like, finish the tour out with us. But even regardless of that, these were people that I gave opportunities to. These were people that liked them and appreciated them as dancers,
Mhm.
respected them as dancers. So I was like, "What?" But then I heard all the other things like sexual harassment, and I was like, "They're trying." Well, I don't know what they're trying to do, but these are the types of things that the media can turn into something that it's not.
So let's get into the details. Obviously, August 2023, three former backup dancers filed a lawsuit against you, your production company, and your dance captain, Shirlene Quigley. They all accuse you of sexual, religious, and racial harassment,
Yeah.
disability discrimination, assault, false imprisonment. I mean, this is a list.
Yeah.
Creating a hostile work environment and weight shaming. So what happened?
That period of my life was I'm not going to cry. I said I wasn't gonna cry because 'cause I'm not a fucking victim. We can't just be strong all the time.
And it's okay when you get your feelings hurt.
God, like, that period of my life was very dark because of the feeling of betrayal. Not because I was like, "Oh my god, like, I did something wrong." It was like, no, like, the wind was knocked out of me by people that I cared about. And even if it wasn't like you was my best friend in the whole wide world, I hired you. You know, I believed in you. And to feel betrayed on that level was, like, deeply earth-shattering. And then the betrayal from the public where they were just like, "Well, we believe it. You know, we've known you for 5 years and we've seen, you know, how you stand up for, you know, marginalized people and bigger bodies and black women, but you know what? We don't believe you anymore." I was like, "Oh, okay. Valid, fair. I get it." And then the betrayal from the media, because the media, all they had to do was read those claims and see, "We're not gonna do our girl like this. This is ridiculous." But instead, they beefed it up and they made salacious headlines to sell clicks. And that's what's heartbreaking because I'm such a here's the silly part about me. I'm such a trusting, naive person. I was talking to my therapist about it and she was like, "I'm sorry." She was like, "You have the assumption of good. Why do you think that if people knew your heart and truly knew who you were, they wouldn't say these things about you anyway?" And I had to sit back and go, "Oh, wow. I just feel like everybody like me." So I had to learn a little bit of my innocence is gone and a little bit of my free spirit is gone for sure. Because that kind of like mass betrayal it's hard for any person to take. I feel like you understand.
I understand. And I know that a lot of times people see what we do and it feels so far away from you. You know, feels like, oh, well, you guys are, and I get it. And I'm not trying to say it's not, I don't have a great time doing what I love and being, Kiki Palmer or Liz or whatever that means to you. But, you give what you have and it's all you got, and whether that's made you famous or made you money, you know, it's your heart's in that.
Girl, I worked so hard to get to this place in my life.
I know, me too.
And it's like, I like, I fucking slept out of my car and I didn't know where I was gonna get my next meal. And I've been through so much pain and loss. And I just try to work through that pain and loss and bring joy to the world. That's it. That's all I try to do. And that's why for a whole year I didn't even get on the internet like that mad. I wasn't petty on the internet because I don't even want to bring, even if my pain is valid, that's not my ministry to bring it to the world like that.
And that's
So
why
I
it
I
sucks.
kept it, I internalized it. I ate that shit.
You have to just suck it up because it's not for me to defend myself. God has to handle my battles for
And
me.
let me tell you something.
That's
My
right.
God, and that's a capital G, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Shalom. Because they like to front on us famous people. They be like, you be praying
Yeah.
with a lowercase g. No, my God is
It's the
capital
same
G.
man, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Jesus got my back. I'm good.
Jesus is
Let me tell
the
you.
man lying, dwelling
Let me tell you, Mama Kirkwood, my great grandma, she prayed over me. Like I do feel like I'm gonna be okay.
Yes.
I feel like
of
I'm gonna be okay.
course.
But this lesson was just massive, and I can't even hold you. I love the version of me that came out of all of this. I really, really do, and I feel like you feel me on that. Like
I do, because it change. These things change you.
and you can ask me anything about it because I got dismissed from the case.
Yeah, that's a big
Great.
weight off your shoulders, I'm sure.
Yes, and we're continuing to fight the other claims until they're all dismissed and not dropped, dismissed, which means a judge saw this and in the court of
Yeah.
law, he looked at the evidence and said, okay, we can't allow this to go through because the evidence was evidencing against the claims.
Yeah.
So it is a big victory.